Be sure to follow us on TikTok at MysticSage1 for daily anime content. You may have seen my top 10 strongest members in Fairy Tail, but since then, my opinions have changed, and I wanted to do a fresh ranking. This time though, I'm ranking every single current member of the guild. Remember, these are just my own opinions, and if you disagree, let me know in the comments what you would change. Kicking off the list at number 31 is Jet. Like his name suggests, Jet has the power to run really fast. It's not the worst magic in the world, but it's kind of boring, and just gives him a bit of momentum behind a regular kick. Droy uses plant magic. He can utilize fast-growing plants to hold opponents in place, or to attack them. But he's not a good fighter at all, and is defeated more often than he wins. Picked magic is super interesting, but limited in terms of what it can create. Redis is good at using this magic, but he doesn't contribute much in terms of fighting ability. Nab uses a possession kind of magic, where he uses animal spirits to boost his physical power. He's not a bad fighter, but he does usually lose. Vegeta's magic is dance magic. It buffs his allies' abilities within a certain distance, and can also confuse his opponents. But considering dancing is his whole gimmick, he loses a dance battle to Ichiya, and I think that's all I need to say. Loki has wood make magic, and it's actually pretty useful. But Loki herself spends most of the story on the sidelines and doesn't contribute much, and that's why she's in 26th. Smoke magic is interesting, but Wakaba's role in the story is not very battle-focused. He's knowledgeable due to being in the guild a long time, and acts as advisor to Makao when he's the guildmaster. However, he doesn't have a lot of power. Romeo is Makao's son, and uses a variety of fire magic called Rainbow Fire. It's a cool power and can be used in a lot of ways, but it's not especially strong, and Romeo is still very young. Alzak's gun magic has a lot of applications and variations, so it's a pretty good power. He just suffers from being a side character and not getting much time to shine. The same as her husband Alzak, Biska has gun magic. Hers is a requip magic though, and I think this gives her a bit of an edge over Alzak. It means she can use it whenever she needs to, and can adapt better to the situation. Former Arashion Seis member Kinana uses poison magic. She learned this magic after joining Fairy Tail, and while it's not very versatile, I think it shows that she's a decent mage. Makao's magic is similar to his son, in the sense that it's fire magic, but he's limited to purple flare. However, he is able to take over leadership of the guild for a while, showing strengths that push him up to the 20th position. Telepathy is a useful type of magic in the Fairy Tail universe, and Warren has shown himself as a vital part of the guild with this power. Communications are an important part of battles, but he's not a strong physical fighter. He can use his telepathy to confuse enemies though. The only X-Seed on this list. I wanted to include Panther Lily because he's a strong member of the guild. Unlike Happy and Carla, he has trained his combat abilities, and can transform into a huge warrior. Overall, he offers good support as a decent melee fighter with added swordsmanship and endurance. Lisana has takeover magic, with hers being Animal Soul. She can transform into different animal forms, with several available depending on what she needs. With such versatile magic, she has been very useful in fights. However, her personality is so sweet and mild that she can't be as ruthless as some equally strong mages. Bixlo's magic is called Human Possession, which sounds more metal than it actually is. Basically, he can trap souls inside dolls, then manipulate them how he wants. When used as a group, they can be tricky to deal with. He can also use a type of eye magic that allows him to control people who make eye contact with him. Evergreen also has a type of eye magic. In her case, she can turn people to stone. It has its limits, like not working on artificial eyes. But since she's the only one who can reverse it, it is great for stopping enemies in their tracks. She also has a second magic, Fairy Dust, which means she can attack opponents with a cloud of dust. Levy's Solid Script is one of my favorite types of magic from Fairy Tail. There's so much diversity in what she can produce with it, covering many different weaknesses of her opponents. Levy is also an intelligent character since she reads a lot of different languages and has a large knowledge of magic. Freed has two types of letter magic, being Dark Ekriture and Jutsu Shiki. The first is his unique power, and it involves runes that can be used to affect an enemy's body, from pain to fear to death itself. The latter is magic he shares with a few other mages, but is also rune-based. These are enchantments that create barriers which cannot be broken, based on specific rules. Takeover Beast Soul gives Elfman a great deal of strength. Different beasts give him different abilities, but all of them are huge and physically powerful. There's not much else to say, except that he's pushed down the list because it took him so long to get control over this dangerous magic. You're probably familiar with Juvia's water magic. It's highly adaptable, and she's contributed so much to the guild, from water blades that can cut through metal to boiling water attacks that can move at high speed. She can also turn herself into water, avoiding attacks on surprising the enemy, which gives her a bit of an edge over previous entries to the list. Okay, you're definitely familiar with Lucy's magic. Her celestial spirits are awesome, and they can even lend their magic in the form of star dresses to give her personal abilities. If you haven't watched my recent ranking of the spirits, why not go check it out after this? Lucy's power here is in the form of opening gates, and she develops a lot of magical strength to be able to do so. But most of her fighting power comes from others, not herself. Tied with Lucy for 10th place is Kana. Kana uses magic cards with an impressively diverse pool of effects, from elemental attacks, to equip, to telepathy. Although they're not as powerful as Lucy's spirits, Kana is also capable of using very advanced magic like fairy glitter. So overall, there is not much between the two of them in terms of magic power and ability. Gajeel is a first generation dragon slayer, and that magic is powerful. The first dragon slayer on our list, Gajeel uses iron magic, which has strong offensive and defensive abilities, but isn't as versatile as some other types of dragon slayer magic. Gray's ice magic is incredibly diverse. He's mastered so many techniques with it that's worthy of 8th place. He learns fast, and he uses his magic in so many ways, both defensive and combat focused. Additionally, he has Ice Devil Slayer magic, which is even more powerful and gives him immunity to curses. First generation Sky Dragon Slayer Wendy packs a huge punch for her small size. Not only can she execute powerful attacks, but she can also heal her allies and cast enchantments that give buffs. She's held her own against some formidable enemies, and should not be underestimated. Mirajane's takeover is Satan's Soul, as terrifying as it sounds. It grants her a few different forms, all of which are super strong. In these forms, she gains a huge range of abilities, and earns her 6th place position with sheer power. But she's now a gentle soul, and doesn't get into fights all that often. Before I get into my top 5, I want to give an honorable mention to Loki. He's a celestial spirit, so while he is a member of the guild, he has access to a totally different kind of magic to the human members. But I'd place him here above Mira and below my number 5 entry, which is Makarov, the Fairy Tale Guildmaster. Appropriate for his position in the guild, Makarov has mastery over a great deal of magic types, from being a giant to the incredible fairy law. The only reason he sits at number 5 is simply because I think there are even stronger wizards here. Second generation Dragon Slayer Laxus, with power over lightning, can produce mind-blowingly strong attacks. He's able to hold his own against one of the Spriggan 12, and even manages to cast Fairy Law, although it didn't have the intended effect. With a wide range of abilities and an incredible physical power, Laxus is number 4. I don't know what I can say about Erza that hasn't already been said on this channel. Her equip magic has an impressive versatility, and her mental fortitude is pretty much unmatched among her guildmates. Gildarts is the top pick for many people when they give their top 10. He's an S-class mage, and his crush magic is so powerful that he can destroy an entire building with a single punch. There is only one person I think deserves to rank above this ridiculously powerful wizard. Maybe it's expected, but Natsu is my number 1 strongest guild member. It wasn't even a question for me at this point. He's become so powerful, determined, and skilled by the end of the series that he manages to defeat the all-powerful Zeref, something that nobody has been able to do for centuries. I'd love to hear if anyone has a different number 1, so be sure to comment and let me know how wrong you think I am. Again, I'll say rankings are subjective, so it's all opinion based, and I'm always interested in hearing what your thoughts are. Before the video closes out, I just want to thank you so much for your support during this month of July. I'm uploading every day, and with all the different anime I'm covering, I know there's a little bit for everyone. Also, if you want a little more Mystic Sage, head on over to TikTok and check us out over there for more fun, bite-sized anime videos. I've also got an Amazon store where I sell tons of Pokemon and anime merch too, so check it out. For real this time though, thanks again for watching. I'm Mystic Sage, and I'll see you tomorrow with more amazing anime content.